Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the World Aquatics Junior Diving Championships, Rijeka 2026. We have the girls' platform synchronized final coming up. We're here at the Cantrida diving pool in Rijeka. We've had a bit of delay due to weather, but it looks like it's clearing up quite nicely. Hopefully just in time for the competition. Some nasty clouds in the background there. Hoping they stay far away as possible. I am your commentator for this week. My name's Matty Lee, former British diver. And I look forward to watching the competition with you all. We're just waiting for the judges to all take their seats and get set up. The divers are all ready to go. In the girls' platform synchronized final, it is both girls A and B. So there's a mix. It's mainly Group A divers, but there are some Group B divers involved. We have our first divers on the board. Barbara Chen and Jacqueline Chen performing an inward dive pike on 5 meter. Good dive there to start us off. Let's have a look at that synchronization. It's very in sync. Tad splashy on those entries. We've got Callie Fox and Sophie Narbert from USA up on the 10 meter diving board, performing a forward dive pike. A little bit out away from the board, I'd say. I'd like to see a bigger jump upwards and some cleaner finishes on the end there. A good synchro from the American girls.
Execution. 6, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7.
There are 6 execution judges,
7.5, 8,
split up in judging each diver individually, and then there are 5 synchronized judges. Next up we have Team Hungary on the 7.5 meters, performing a reverse dive pike. Good synchro, just both landing short of vertical. I would like to see a bigger jump out of the board there, pointing their toes up a bit higher.
5, 6, 6.5. Synchronization. 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. On 10 meter. Ruby.
Next up, we've got Ruby and Maggie from Australia on the 10 meter board, performing a back dive pike. Nice, good, strong jump out of the board there. Let's have a look at that synchronization. It's kind of hard to tell from this camera angle, as the judges will see it bang on from the side.
6.5, 6.5, 7. 7, 8, 7. Synchronization.
Some great synchronization scores there.
8, 7.5. Jian Yuhan. 1.
We have Team China up on 10 meter,
On 10 meter. Back dive pike.
performing a back dive pike. A little bit of a hesitation there on the takeoff, both coming up out of the board at different times. It's not what you want in synchronization. As you can see, one drops, the closest drops a lot quicker than the other. So the synchronization scores will be down,
8, 8, 7.5, 7.
but both good individual dives.
Synchronization. 7.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 7.5. Ketlin Calazan.
We have Ketlin Calazan and Marina Moria from Brazil
Forward dive pike.
on the 7.5 meter, performing a forward dive pike. Nice entries there, especially the diver furthest from us. The diver nearest going slightly over.
5, 5, 5. 7.5, 7, 6.5. Synchronization. 7, 7.5. 7, 7, 7. Suri Cueva Lovato.
We have Suri Cueva Lobato and Martina Torres on the 10 meter board, performing a front 1.5 somersaults pike. Nice dive there, good synchro. Tiny discrepancy there on the distance. But solid dives from the Mexico team.
7, 7. 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Synchronization. 8, 7.5. 8, 7, 7.5. On 7.5 meter. Daria Poliakova.
We have
And Sofia
Daria
Pizzagina.
and Sofia
Forward dive pike.
on the 7.5 meters, performing a forward dive pike. Nice, beautiful lines there going into the water. Nice pike shapes, good form, good clean entries. Tiny bit of splash beam thrown up from the furthest away diver.
Synchronization. 8, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. On 10 meter. Lila Gokert.
We have Lila and Ella from Team Canada up on the 10 meter board performing an inward dive pike. I think that was Lila, potentially the nearest diver. Going a bit out of control there, going a bit too quick for an inward dive pike, sailing it right over.
Execution. 4.5, 4, 4.5. 7.5 for 8, 7. Synchronization. 6.5, 6.5, 7. 6.5, 6.5. On 10 meter.
Here we have Corinne Burrows-Mackley and Juliet John, Team Great Britain, up on the 10 meter board, performing a back dive pike. Nice solid dive there, up until that entry. Corinne landing a little bit over there. Juliet getting a nice rip entry. Good synchro from the girls.
5, 4.5, 5. 8, 7.5 for 8. Synchronization. 7.5, 7. 8, 7.5, 7. On 10 meter. Victoria Kazantseva. Alexandra Kedrina. Back dive.
We have Team Russia up on 10 meter. Performing the back dive pike. Nice clean dives there, a little bit of a splash being put up from the furthest away diver. Good strong jump, nice toes pointed.
Execution.
In this competition we'll be seeing 2 rounds of required dives and then 3 rounds of optional dives.
And that brings to an end the first round of dives.
And that's the end of the first round. Let's have a quick look at the standings. Very early days still.
Second round of dives. On 5 meter. Barbara Chen, Jacqueline Chen.
We have Barbara Chen and Jacqueline Chen on 5 meter performing a back dive pike. Nice dives there from the girls. Good synchro. Just a little bit splashy on those entries. Would like to see a bit more of a cleaner finish.
Execution. 5.5, 6, 6. 6, 7, 7. Synchronization. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. On 10 meter. Gally Fox and Sophia Nardo. Reverse dive pike.
We have Team USA up on 10 meter performing a reverse dive pike. Bit of a splashy entry from both divers. Good synchro up until, well, good synchro the whole way. good jumps out at the end of the board.
6.5, 7, 7. Synchronization. 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5. On 10 meter. Kathleen Kinborough.
We have Team Hungary up on 10 meter, performing a forward 1.5 somersaults pike. Nice dives there. Good synchro. I'd like to see the takeoff a little bit more upright, but they both look for the water.
Execution. 7, 7, 6. 6, 6.5, 6.5. Synchronization. 7.5, 7.5. 7, 7.5, 8. On 10 meter. Maggie Gray.
We have Ruby and Maggie, Team Australia, up on the 10 meter, performing a reverse dive pike. Nice dive there from the girls. Solid entries. Nearest diver landing a bit short of vertical there, but good synchro.
Execution. 6, 5.5, 6.5.
If you're a little confused as to why some divers are competing on 10 meter and doing their dives on 7 meter or 5 meter, in the junior competitions you can choose. But obviously when you become a senior diver, you can only compete on the 10 meter board.
Reverse dive pike.
Team China,
10 meter.
reverse dive pike, 10 meter. Nice, that was a very good dive there from the Chinese girls. Look at that strong takeoff, look at that synchro, and good entries.
Execution. 7.5, 8.5, 8.5. 7.5, 7, 8. Synchronization. 8.5, 7.5, 8.5, 8, 8.5. Ketlin Calazans.
Got Team Brazil here
7.5 meter.
on the 7.5 meters, performing a reverse dive pike. Furthest away diver landing quite short of vertical there. I would recommend taking that up onto 10 meter. Having a bit of extra time there to land upright.
Execution. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. 4.5, 5.5, 6. Synchronization. 6.5, 7, 7, 6, 6.
Next up we've got the Mexican girls.
Our apologies, we have a small issue. We are working to resolve it now.
We have a small technical issue. We're working to resolve it. As they do that, I just wanted to point out that Zoe Cuevo Lobato, there's 3 sisters competing here this week, which I think is incredible. I think it's quite rare anyway to have multiple divers in a family, but you know, they've got 3 divers, they might have more, diving in the same period at the same time at this level. It's a very impressive family indeed. And Zoe's inspiration is Paula Espinoza, who is a legendary Mexican diver. And she's quite a star in Mexico. Married to Ivan Garcia, another legendary Mexican diver.
Our apologies, divers, just relax for a second. We will be back in competition very, very shortly, but just relax for a second.
The announcer's telling the divers to relax. I'm guessing technical difficulty might take maybe a minute or two, hopefully not too long. Adriana started diving when she was 7 years old. She started diving because she really enjoyed being high up. If you're a 10-meter diver, you can't really afford to be afraid of heights. Some springboard divers are afraid of heights, and that's why they stay on 3 meter.
Once again, our apologies. We are now back in competition on 10 meter.
All right, we're now finally back, ready to go. Team Mexico, back dive pike. Good dives there from the Mexican girls. In sync, touching their toes, pressing out, reaching for the water. Would like to see a bit more of a cleaner finish on the entries. Fumbling the handshake there.
7.5, 7.5. On 7.5 meter, Daria Polyakova.
We have Daria Polyakova and Sofia Kina forming a back dive pike on 7 meters. 7.5 meters. Both divers landing slightly short there. A little bit of a splash being kicked up. But good aerial work. Nice pointed toes. Locked out knees.
Synchronization. 7.5, 7, 7, 7, 7.5. On 10 meter. Lila Gokil. Ella Lindsay.
Back on 10 meter here. Lila and Ella forming a back dive pike. I really like their jump out of the board there, nice and strong. Reaching for those toes, neat pike shapes. A little bit splash on those entries.
Execution. 7, 7, 7.
Layla started diving in Calgary, that has now recently moved to train in Montreal. And a fun fact about her is she is legally blind in one eye, which is kind of crazy because you need the vision for diving. Moving on to Team Great Britain, performing a reverse dive pike on 10 meter. Nice dive there from Team Great Britain. Lovely entries, good synchro. That's what I like to see. They both train at Dive London. Juliet started diving when she was 5 years old. Corinne started diving when she was 6.
Victoria Kazantseva, Alexandra Kedrina.
Moving on to Team Russia
Reverse dive pike.
on the 10-meter diving board, performing a reverse dive pike. Solid entry there from the nearest diver. Furthest away, going quite short of vertical, getting a bit stuck in her pike shape. Both keeping a very neat toe line
Execution, 7.5, 8,
and leg line.
7.5, 5.5, 6.5, 6. Synchronization, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. That completes the second round of dives. And once again, current
That completes the second round of dives. So we look at the scoreboard. That is the required dives over with. Now we've got 3 dives of optionals. So we should see some more somersaults, more rotations, more twists.
Barbara Chen, Jacqueline Chen.
Here we have Barbara and Jacqueline
Say half twist,
from
position.
Chinese Taipei, performing a back 1/2 somersaults and half twist on the 5-meter. Nice synchro from the girls. They are sisters, competing together. Must be a lovely thing. It's a special thing to be able to do that. My brother inspired me to get into diving.
6.5, 6.
It would have been a more special thing to be able to do synchro with him.
6.5, 7, 7, 7. On 7.5 meter.
Right, we're up on 7.5 meters. We've got Callie Fox and Sophia Narbut from America, performing an inward 2.5 somersaults tuck. Sailing quite far over there on an inward 2.5 tuck. The nearest diver. A little bit out of sync on the rotation, just slightly. Need to try and keep those splashes down, land upright, get that rip entry. Both the divers have been diving since they were 7 years old.
5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6. On 10 meter. Kathleen Kimball, Jenga toes.
Up on 10 meter.
Forward 2.5 somersaults, height.
We've got Kathleen and Tunda performing a forward 2.5 somersaults pike. Looked a little bit out of sync there on the takeoff, but it kind of came together at the end. Nearest diver kind of chucking her arms, her throw a bit too far down.
Execution.
You want to try and throw up and over
6.5,
your legs.
5.5. Synchronization. 7, 7, 6.5, 7, 7.
Not only do you have to concentrate on your own dive, but you have to hope your single partner does a good dive too, and you also need to try and make it be in time and look like perfect synchro. Got Ruby and Maggie. They'll be performing a forward 3.5 somersaults pike with a run-up. They're just measuring that now. It has started raining quite heavily. Thumbs up to the referee. The girls are ready. Rain isn't the most off-putting thing. It's wind and sun, in my opinion. Nice takeoff from the girls. Both landing a little bit short there, but this is a difficult dive. Good takeoff. Furthest away, moving out a little bit too far.
Execution. 7, 6, 7. 5.5, 6, 7. Correction. 5.5, 7, 6. Synchronization.
The rain almost helps because when the rain hits the water, you can see it. There's no chance of you missing where the edge of the water is.
On 10 meter.
Some pools have little bubbles and this pool has sprays, but sometimes it's not enough. So it adds a little bit of precision to the game. Got Team China up on 10 meter performing the same dive, forward 3.5 somersaults, pike. Lovely dive there from Team China. Good entries. Taking off at the same time. Spin speeds at the same time. It's pretty spot on synchro, if you ask me.
Execution, 7.5, 8, 8, 8, 7.5, 6.5. Synchronization, 8.5, 8, 8.5, 8, 8. On 7.5 meter. Ketlin Callison.
We have Ketlin and Mariana. Team Brazil on the 7.5 meters. Forming a back 1.5 somersaults with half a twist. It's quite difficult doing synchro off the 7.5 meter. As you can see, it's not that quite wide. It's not wide enough, really. So it's a bit scary. But both not hitting each other, which is good.
6.5, 6, 7.
One diver sailing quite far over.
6.5, 7, 7, 7, 7.5. On 10 meter. Suri Cueva Duarte.
Team Mexico on 10 meter. Forming a forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Good solid dive there from the Mexicans. Looks very confident. Look at that rain, jeez. Very precise on that entry. Suri started gymnastics, and the diving gym was. And then she saw the divers training. I think the divers and the gymnastics trained in the same venue, and she thought, I'm going to have a go at that. And now here she is representing her country at the Junior World Championships. Got Team Ukraine forming a forward 3.5 somersaults pike. Really nice dives there. I actually like the takeoffs. Good synchronization as well. Slightly coming out of time with spin speeds. Team Canada on 10 meter, performing a back 2.5 somersaults pike. One diver going quite far over and one diver going quite short. The rain did start pouring pretty hard, as you can see.
Execution, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 4. Synchronization.
Ella started diving when she was 7 years old, watching the Rio Olympics on television in 2016. She was captivated watching the platform events. You can see Yona and I Wisdom there on the left-hand side, getting a bit drenched. We're taking a pause. We are pausing for a few moments. Everyone's taking cover. we'll come back to you very shortly.
Okay, divers and coaches, we are ready to resume. We are going to take this nice and easy, dive by dive. Divers, please take your time. Do not go if you do not feel safe.
We are now back. We're going to take this competition nice and slow. The announcer just called out to the divers that if they don't feel safe enough to go, then don't. Take your time. The next pair will be the British pair. They'll be taking their time, getting their coaching comment, resetting for their dive. Key's not to rush these sort of things. Some people feel like you have to rush, but as a diver, you control the speed, not anyone else.
Divers, please could you let the referee know when you are ready?
Still a pretty heavy downpour there, as you can see. Judges and referees are all in position. They do have ponchos on, and most of them are all under umbrellas. Britain. I hope wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is, you're staying dry, not like the rest of these people in the stands.
Thank you once again for your patience. We are nearly ready to go. We are just waiting for the platform to be cleared of excess water. And as soon as that has happened, we will be able to get the competition underway. As I said, we will go dive by dive, and it will be for the divers to decide that they are safe. to resume. On 10 meter, we have.
Okay, we are back in action, I believe. We had to get the excess water off the end of the 10-meter board. Juliet and Corinne up there talking to a World Aquatics senior member. He's just assessing whether it's safe or not.
And Juliet John, forward, 3.5.
The girls will be performing a forward 3.5 somersaults in the pike position. I want to see confidence from the girls. Nice dives there, both going slightly over, producing quite a big splash there. Also spinning at different speeds, creating a bit of a helicopter effect. It's not easy waiting that long for your next dive in a competition. You also might be feeling a little bit more extra nervous with it being so wet up there, especially on a running takeoff. We've got Team Russia performing the same dive, forward 3.5 somersaults pike. See the divers there trying to dry the end of the board there with a chamois. Some divers opt to use a towel at the end of the board. Some don't. I never did. Decent dive there from the Russian pair. Synchro was off from the takeoff. And the nearest diver throwing up a bit of a splash. I want to see a bit more of a pike save on the entries.
6.5, 6.5, 6. 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Synchronization.
I'm pretty sure the Russian pair stayed up behind the boards that whole time.
That brings us to an end of the third round, and the standings are.
Have a look at the standings after the third round. 2 more to go to see who will be crowned champion.
Fourth round of dives on 5 meter. Barbara Chen, Jacqueline Chen.
Got Barbara Chen and Jacqueline Chen
Somersaults pike.
performing a forward 2.5 somersaults pike on the 5 meter. One landing short and one landing quite over. Maybe lacking a bit of confidence on that end of the board there. As a diver, when you are doing a running takeoff, you want to have full confidence that your feet are going to go nowhere as soon as you plant them on the end of the board. Because you've got to generate the power to jump and rotate.
4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Synchronization. 5.5, 5, 5, 6, 5. On 10 meter. Callie Fox, Sophia Narbert. Back 2.5 somersaults pike.
We have Team USA on the 10 meter diving board performing a back 2.5 somersaults pike. Back 2.5 pike's a hard one to control on 10 meter. It's got so much room to control that dive. It's almost a scarier thing. Sometimes it's better to not have as much room. You kick up and you rip, go through the water. But we're back to an half pipe. You've got to judge where you need to come out, which can be very difficult.
6, 6.5, 6.5. Synchronization. 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5, 6.5. On 7.5 meter. Kathleen Kimbora.
We have Team Hungary on the 7.5 meters, performing an inward 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Good synchro there from the Hungarian pair. Both coming out a little bit too early and being quite hesitant. Maybe the closest diver, maybe getting a little bit too close to that end of the board there. It is hard to tell with the angle we're looking at.
5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 6. Synchronization. 6, 7, 7, 6, 7. On 10 meter.
We've got Team Australia on the 10 meter diving board performing an inward 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Good solid dives there. Good distance away from the board. Maybe a bit of a jump on that end of the board. Makes me a little bit nervous. It's a hard dive to compete in these conditions. Ruby's inspiration is Melissa Wu, a legendary Australian diver. And Maggie's is Nal Wilson, who is a British gymnast, who I know quite well. We're up on 10 meter with Team China. 4 inward 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Nice dives there from the Chinese pair. A little bit scruffy in the air. Like to see neater tuck shapes. But great entries, especially from the furthest diver away from us.
Execution. 7, 7.5, 8. 7, 7, 7. Synchronization. 8, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 8.5. On 7.5 meter.
We've got Team Brazil on the 7.5 meter diving board, competing a inward 2.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Both struggling there on their takeoffs, not generating enough speed, getting a bit stuck in their shapes, and both not fully coming out of their dives there.
4, 6, 4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 4. Synchronization. 5, 5.5, 6, 4.5, 6. On 10 meter. Suri Cueva Lobato.
We have Team Mexico up on the 10 meter diving board, competing an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. Great synchro there from Team Mexico. Very good dives. Can both maybe slightly over-rotating on the entry. Let's have a look. Yes. But I'd take that all day long in this sort of competition.
7, 7, 7. 6.5, 6.5, 6.5.
There we go. Nailed the high five this time.
7.5, 7.5.
As they nailed the dive.
On 10 meter.
We're back up on 10 meter. Team Ukraine performing the same dive, an inward 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. A little bit out of time there, as you can see on the takeoff, which can throw you off a bit, because in the corner of your eye, you can see your synchro partner. And then when you're out of speed, when you're out of spin speeds, you can kind of tell during the dive, which can be quite off-putting. But in synchro, when you're in perfect time and you can see your partner in the corner of your eye, it looks like, it almost feels like you both are still and the world's spinning around you. It's quite a unique feeling that I used to feel. We're on the 10 meter board. Team Canada performing a reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck. Ooh, that's an unfortunate dive there for the Canadians, both landing quite short of vertical, not producing enough spin off the board and kicking out far too early. Ella's inspiration in diving is Kate Miller, a diver who also began a career at her home club in Ottawa.
Synchronization. 5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5. On 10 meter.
And Lila's inspiration is Kaylee McKay, one of my very good friends, Canadian diver. Alright, we have the British team up on 10 meter performing an inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. Nice dive there from the girls. Good takeoff. Just a shame on the entries, a little bit splashy. From both of them, I'd like to see a bit more confidence on the come out. With a bit more precision.
Execution.
Julia enjoys playing the piano in her downtime.
6.5,
And also painting and drawing.
Synchronization. 7, 6.5.
I can't play a single instrument.
6.5.
I can't paint or draw. So that is some skilled skills.
Inward 3.5 somersaults with tuck.
We have the Russian team up on 10 meter, performing the same dive again, the inward 3.5 somersaults tuck. Nice, good, strong jump out of the board there from both the girls. Furthest away diver landing quite short, producing quite a splash, but the nearest diver, good entry. Still a little bit short, but good entry, keeping the splash down.
Execution. 6.5, 6.5, 6. 5.5, 6, 6. Synchronization.
That's it
7.5, 7.5.
for the end
7,
of round 4.
and that concludes
Who's in the top 3? We've got China, Mexico, and Australia.
and the current standings are on the scoreboard for you now.
Anything can still happen. This is diving after all.
Final round of dives. Barbara Chen, Jacqueline Chen, inward 1.5.
We've got Barbara
somersaults,
and Jacqueline Chen
5 meter.
on the 5 meter diving board performing An inward 1.5 somersaults pike. Great synchro with the Chen sisters. Nice pike shapes as well, but both just producing a bit of a splash there on the entry.
Execution, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.5. Synchronization, 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7. On 10 meter. Callie Fox and
We're back up on the 10 meter diving board with Team USA. Callie Fox and Sophia Nabert performing the reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck. Beautiful entry there from the nearest diver. Look at that synchro. Good synchro as well, both coming out at the same time. Both good dives, to be fair. Just a bit of a splash being produced from the diver to furthest to us.
5.5, 5.5, 7, 7, 7. Synchronization, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.
As it's the last round, we have a live podium, so the athletes have to stand in their position that they're currently in, sometimes moving them away, which can be a bit brutal. We have Team Hungary up on the 10 meter diving board, performing a back 2.5 somersaults with half a twist in the pike position. Both a bit splashy there on the entries. Slightly out of time with the synchronization. Well, not really out of time, but just out of line. One diver jumping a bit too far back.
6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6. On 10 meter. Ruby Joyner.
We have Team Australia up on 10 meter, Ruby and Maggie, performing a back 2.5 somersaults with 1.5 twist. Great dive there from the Australians. Both dives kind of landing a little bit short though. The aerial work was great in time, good synchro. But the entries let them both down a little bit.
Synchronization. 7, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 6.5. On 10 meter. Chung Yuan Ting Jong.
We've got Team China up on 10 meter, performing the same dive, a back 2.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. Very nice dive there from the Chinese pair. Good entries. A little bit of flex feet there as they repike. But both keeping the water down. Very nice dives.
7.5, 7.5, 7.5. 7.5, 7, 7. Synchronization. 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8, 8.5. Caitlin Calazans.
We have Team Brazil up on 10 meter, performing a forward 3.5 somersaults in the tuck position. Great synchro there from the Brazilian pair, both landing over of vertical. I'd like to see a bit of a bigger jump there on the end of the board. They both didn't need to hang on for that long.
Execution. 5, 5, 3.5. 4.5, 4, 4.5. Synchronization. 6.5, 5.5. 6.5, 7, 6.5. Rijeka Levato.
We've got Team Mexico up on 10 meter. Suri Cueva Levato and Adriana Torres Martin performing a back 2.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists. Nice dives there from the Mexican pair to finish their competition. Let's have a look at that synchro, pretty good. One dropping a bit quicker than the other, a little bit splashy on the entries. Interestingly, Suri was always very scared of heights. And now her speciality is the 10 meter platform, which is funny. She enjoys learning about English. Her favorite subject at school is English. And she's learning Japanese. We've got some very smart divers taking part in this whole competition. I was never that smart. Team Ukraine, 10 meter, performing a back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. Nice dives there from the Ukrainian pair. I like that a lot. Slightly going over there on the entry, but I enjoyed the flight. Good synchro.
Execution. 6.5, 6, 5.5. 5.5, 5.
Current medal standings are currently China in number 1, Mexico in number 2, and Australia in the 3rd position. Let's see if the Canadians, the British and the Russians, let's see what they have to say about those medals. We have Team Canada on 5 meter performing a forward 2.5 somersaults pike. Nice takeoff from the girls. Good timing. Both kind of going over a little bit. I want to see a bit of a tighter come out.
Execution.
And more confidence to that entry.
6, 5.5, 5.5. Synchronization. 6.5, 6, 7, 7, 7. On 10 meter.
Let's see if the British pair have anything to say about that medal standings. They're on 10 meter performing a back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twist. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. The synchro's a little bit off there. Both having to really, Corin, but having to really dig into that pike shape to make it round. Running out of time. Oof. Not quite a medal today.
6.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5, 7.
But always great experience. Especially in these environments, you never know what's going to be thrown at you. Especially in outdoor diving. Our final divers are on 10 meter. The Russian pair. Not really sure what the hold-up is. It's Definitely not weather.
Separated scores. Execution 4.5, 5.5, 4.5, 7, 7, 7. Synchronization 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5, 7. On 10 meter, Victoria Kazantseva.
Here we go.
Alexandra Kedrina.
Team Russia
Back 2.5
on a 10 meter diving board.
1.5 twists, pike.
Back 2.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists in the pike position. It's a nice dive that from the Russian pair. Not much of a splash being produced. Good synchro, a little bit out of time now on the repike. It's going to be tight. Oof. They bump off Team Australia, I believe, for that third spot.
7.5, 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5.
It was very close though.
Thank you, officials. Rijeka, please put
Congratulations to all divers. Congratulations to the champions, Team China. Then the silver medalist, Team Mexico. Ooh, Chinese flag's a little bit too big. Gonna cover up the competitors there. Or is it a big flag or is it small girls?
And after that thrilling competition, we now have our medalists. The medals being presented by World Aquatics Technical Diving Committee member Gord Peterson. And in third place, bronze medalist Victoria Kazantseva and Alexandra Kedrina. Silver medalists Suri Cueva-Lobato and Adriana Torres. Gold medalists and junior world champions Chan Yuan and Yuan Qinzhong. Rijeka, make some noise for your girls, AB